Jack with Syracuse taking on Florida State in our final game of the day of quarterfinal Friday here in Greensboro. Off we go. Now Duke has it. Taina Mayer, the transfer from Boston College, hands it off to Ashlyn Jackson.
Duke played as well in a complete game yesterday in their win over Georgia Tech as I've seen them play all year. And what they did in their matchups with NC State, back-to-back, which are games they split. They got Kennedy Brown established on the block at 6'6" to really challenge River Baldwin.
Donovan got deep, 4 on the shot clock. Reagan Richardson, all-ACC second-team pick this season, has to shoot. And it's a shot clock violation to start.
Really good defense by NC State. Great ball pressure. And in order to get Duke, you got to have 3 levels of defense.
Told you about Rivers and James. Madison Hayes, the player that Westmore calls the glue of this team, along with Mimi Collins and River Baldwin in the starting 5 for the Wolfpack.
They run the Iverson cut over the top, which is a misdirection, which Duke is right there, rotates, has great ball pressure. Both these coaches have an incredible bunch of plays they can go to. And look at there, there's the show.
I told you, there's the show. Aziaha James had a career-high 33 in NC State's win at home against Duke in the regular season.
The other thing NC State does well is they play a softer cover. They'll guard inside the 3-point line. They'll do a really good job of understanding personnel.
Mayer.
See, they'll want Mayer taking that shot. That's good defense by the Wolfpack.
Jaden Donovan, one of those young players Angel was talking about for this Duke team. Can't defend Mimi Collins on that shot.
That's a matchup to keep your eye on because Mimi Collins does have the post-up ability against Donovan. She has size and experience in that matchup.
Mimi Collins, a 6'3" graduate forward for the Wolfpack.
3 possessions for Duke, and they don't have anything going yet. Watch this move right here. High off the glass. Beautiful, and then the dump down inside, reverse pivot to create some space.
James and Rivers both named to the All-ACC first team. Sai Rivers also on the defensive team. She elevates so well on that jump shot.
NC State doesn't always crash. They prefer to get back in transition. Duke is very good at running the floor hard on the break.
Mayer can't get it. The putback from Kennedy Brown. Boy, she was big in the win yesterday. 14 points for Brown against the Yellow Jackets to help Duke, the 7 seed, get to this game in the quarterfinals. Baldwin has it taken away. Jackson to Richardson, up front on the break, doesn't finish. Numbers. James, nice. Inside for Baldwin. How about that?
What a delivery. A look away and a drop down.
Duke, needing an answer, gets it from Jackson.
Oh, and then NC State throws the ball away. Watch this no-look pass in transition. Slice the floor and drop it off to the big girl at the rim. It's a beautiful leave.
A little flash and fun from Aziaha James to get things started for NC State in this ACC tournament. Turning the ball over, though, not what they want on this end of the floor. Duke can't take advantage on the first shot. I don't even know who to credit that to.
Well, Mimi Collins, you can give her credit for that.
It's like a horse shot.
Thought I've seen everything. I hadn't seen that before.
I'm going to use that. That's in my range. So that ties us up at 6. Rivers with 5 on the shot clock. That Duke defense makes life hard on this end of the floor.
You know, you can't stay on top of the offense with the ball. You've got to get below the free throw line against Duke. Make them guard inside out.
Jackson too strong from 3, and then James pulls down the rebound. The junior from Virginia Beach, Virginia, averages almost 16 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, takes some contact on the shot. All right, I have no idea how to score this play.
Okay, watch this right here. I mean, it is, I think Mimi Collins knocks it in. That's a strange look. Take a look from this angle. it went off River Baldwin, then it hit Mimi Collins. So the assist to River.
Well, more pressing concerns on the other end right now. Reagan Richardson, I believe that's who that is, that's down for Duke.
You know, injuries are never good and accentuated at this time of the year because it's March.
Richardson's been having a great season. One of the few players with some good experience for this Duke team. Freshmen and sophomores playing big roles. Richardson, a junior. You can see her defending on the shot. There's the roll of the ankle as she's coming down.
And that was only almost a 90-degree angle is what it looked like. That didn't look good. You know, injuries across the country, right? We're Molly Davis at Iowa, not available for the tournament. Don't know the status of Mackenzie Holmes at Indiana in the Big Ten. And of course, Kitley, the three-time player of the year, did not play today. We don't expect to have her for the tournament, for this tournament.
Yeah, it is one of the more heartbreaking times to have to suffer an injury for the player and the team at this point in the season. We'll keep you updated on Richardson's status as she went off to get looked at. Leading scorer for the Blue Devils, averages just under 12 points per game for the season. Oluchi Okananwa, though, the ACC 6th player of the year now on the floor. She can really provide a lift for this Duke team.
NC State has to move. Can't just get stagnant when the ball.
Rivers.
Yeah, see, the ball right now is staying on top of the floor, which means it's not going below the free throw line. That's one way to attack Duke's defense.
Donovan calling for it inside. Turns around, makes her shot.
I mean, that is a tough turnaround jump shot. If your defense can force those all game and they make them, then you just got to give it up for them making 2 points. A tough 2.
Behind the back, Aziaha James pulling all the tricks out of the bag. Donovan, look at her beat everybody down the floor. Another finish with flair.
I mean, that is a straight line drive, rim to rim. Somebody has to stop the ball.
Donovan, a freshman, McDonald's All-American, Gatorade DC Player of the Year.
And you know Duke is going to hard hedge on that ball screen action and tag from the strong side that time.
Rivers.
Yeah, they're forcing Rivers to make plays.
And she's having to take some tough shots,
yeah,
so choosing to anyway. Okananwa, and Duke's getting to the rim.
And see, when Sanaya Rivers misses at the rim, there's no defensive balance for NC State. That's back-to-back straight line drives in transition by the Blue Devils.
6-0 run by Duke to take the 4-point lead, and then NC State throws it away.
The one really good offensive habit that the Blue Devils have is their sprint in transition. They run hard, they run.
Maybe a little Aziaha James?
I think she's a little cool, a little lukewarm right now,
okay.
but I see it brewing. You know, she's been their leading scorer all season, and she's one of the most improved players in the league. I thought she was the most improved player. She got my vote at 15.5 points. And she can impact the stat line on the right side of the box score as well. She's going to have to get some touches right here, but Wolfpack's got to move the ball better than they have moved it to start the game.
This is going to be an offensive foul against the Blue Devils. Donovan getting called for the foul.
I've been really impressed with Kara Lawson's tempo of her team in the transition game. Their 4 baskets are layups in the game early, but they also have the ability to accelerate through their actions offensively. There's James going back door.
Yeah, just working hard, working her defender to get herself open.
Really nice job of clearing it out and letting her go one-on-one. Back door.
6 points in the game for James. Starting to bring that fire a little bit. Zoe Brooks on the floor as well in the All-ACC freshman team selection for the Wolfpack, number 35.
The NC State needed to go smaller because they weren't keeping up with the transition game of Duke.
Mayer has her first points of the game. 4 of the 5 Duke starters now have scored. Reagan Richardson, the only one who hasn't, but she left with injury at the 6-minute mark. We'll try to get you updated if we have anything. I see her riding the bike over in the corner. Rivers drilled her way in.
It's a really good call from the bench because you get the clear out and you get the blow by and you know the switch is coming.
Cable throws it away, and NC State will take over the basketball. Aziaha James now trying to fire the crowd up as Richardson gets off the bike. That's a good sign for Duke.
Wow. After the way her ankle looked like it rolled, that's impressive that she could pop back up.
Such an important player for this Duke team. And drive to the basket. That is 8 for Aziaha James.
Off the timeout, it's Aziaha James getting the touches for NC State.
She's got us tied at 14 now. Camilla Emsbo, grad transfer from Yale, onto the floor for Duke. Mayer into some traffic. Brooks, Rivers, ready to run for the Wolfpack.
With Mimi Collins at the 5, this is a much more mobile NC State team.
Richardson.
Oh, what a shot.
Right back into the game, and the ball into the basket. Zoe Brooks lost the handle a little bit on the way in. Still managed to get her drive to the basket. Okananwa the other way. We travel.
Keep your eye on James on this out-of-bounds play. Here she comes off the Mimi Collins screen. Little pump fake and a blow-by. And then in transition, Sania Rivers leaking out for an easy 2.
I think James likes playing here in Greensboro, relishing the postseason. Wolfpack saw their run come to an end in the quarterfinals last year in a very different year, and they finished 8th in the ACC. Lost to Notre Dame. That's an offensive foul. First on Hayes.
Well, Hayes misses the lob. Mimi Collins told her where to pass the ball. She's pointing to throw the lob. Jackson is standing there, had time to have a cup of coffee on that one.
No question about getting set defensively. Jackson took the charge. Shot up, but off. Rivers coming off back-to-back 20-point games in her last 2 of the regular season. Hayes, how about a 3?
And that's Sania Rivers setting that up. Putting it right in the pocket for Hayes in transition on the top of the key.
Madison Hayes, the senior, who said that this year has just changed her whole world in terms of the role that she's taking with this team, the responsibility she feels. She was 1 of 8 from 3 over the last 3 games. Sees her first attempt in this one go down.
Duke runs flex cut to get into their offense. And then Rivers doing a great job. This is when your point guard can rebound like Sania Rivers. She can get you into your transition game quicker. And this is a last possession here of the quarter for NC State. She's going to want to go with about 8 seconds.
Rivers. Back on top. Now Hayes. Collins calling for it. Rivers is fouled on the 3-point attempt.
This is time and score management right here. NC State really didn't have anything going, and it's a bailout by Duke. You can't foul Sania Rivers as a jump shooter or outside the 3-point line.
Sania does a good job of getting to the line. She's been there more than any other NC State player this season. She's 89 of 118, 75% free throw shooter.
If you were going to put a fantasy team together in the ACC, you'd want Sania Rivers on your team because what she does on the right side of the box score, the right side of the box score is rebounds, assists, and steals. And she can stuff the stat sheet over there. And she is one of the more improved three-point shooters. 14 makes last year. She's up to 20 makes this year, and she's really worked on it.
Leads this NC State team in assists and steals. North Carolina right behind with 9.
That's a lot of Chris Weller right there at Maryland in the history of the game. And then for North Carolina, Sylvia Hatchell responsible for 8 of those 9 championships for the Tar Heels. They got bounced yesterday by Miami.
Quick 2 points to start the second quarter for River Baldwin and NC State. Jackson to Brown. Okananwa. Does anybody rebound with the energy of the 5'10 freshman Oluchi Okananwa?
There's not many teams that have a guard that leads them in rebounding, and that's Okananwa right here, just making herself available. And she's so athletic, she's long, and she's determined to rebound.
Oluchi Okananwa, an ACC all-freshman team selection. The ACC 6th player of the year has come off the bench in every game for Duke this season. Maddie Cox, 6'2 freshman out of Flower Mound, Texas, on the floor for NC State. Zoe Brooks still out there as well.
NC State going to their horn series. 2 players on the elbows.
James had 8 points in that first quarter. Brooks from the free throw line. Yes!
We talk about freshmen in this league, and there's one right there for the Wolfpack. Number 35 in white.
She is going to be a fun one to watch. We've got several of those. And Zoe Brooks certainly in that category as Mayer misses everything.
Part of the reason why NC State is such a good rebounding team is because they do a really good job of guarding personnel, not letting the ball get past them in the quarter court. Now in the transition game, they got to do a better job of keeping them in front. But in the quarter court, they do an excellent job.
A little confusion there on that play from the beginning. Looked like River Baldwin was ready to set a screen. Instead, she got the basketball. But, you know, to find James, good things happen. Can't finish on that three-point attempt. Okananwa. Mayer bounces off Baldwin and winds up back with Taina Mayer. Brown.
That's travel.
Good matchup to watch in the paint, too. That River Baldwin-Kennedy Brown battle that's going to be going on all game long.
I mean, watch Kennedy Brown. How many steps does she get? My goodness.
No foul on the play. Under the basket for Duke. 6 on the shot clock now. Okananwa. Back out for Mayer. The 3 won't go. And Baldwin eventually does corral the rebound.
River Baldwin's got to post up strong in there because even the post up creates some driving lanes.
Brooks to Baldwin. And then this is going to be a foul, I guess, on Brooks.
NC State fans are not going to like this one either.
Donovan went up for the rebound.
The rebound carries her momentum into Brooks.
Oh, goodness.
But she fell down, and that's what the official saw.
Well, Zoe Brooks is called for the foul on that play.
The NC State's got to get high hands on the passer. See that? Nice jump to the ball, but an excellent cut. You got to have some ball pressure. You got to have high hands.
Cable stole it back for Duke. Jackson certainly would have thought she had it. There's another lane, but it is blocked by Rivers. Thought she had the block. There is a foul, though, on the play. So that was a foul called on Sanaya Rivers. That puts Kennedy Brown on the free throw line, an 87% free throw shooter for the Blue Devils. Westmore not liking the explanations he's getting from Ed Sedlatsky. Three points in the game for Brown. She averaged 14.5 in the 2 games against NC State in the regular season. Each team winning on their home floor. James. Baldwin keeps the possession alive for the Wolfpack. Rivers. Nothing opening up along the baseline. And then Jaden Donovan forcing that pass to be exactly right, and it wasn't.
It's a fundamental that I don't know if it's not taught right, but I don't see many players throwing the lob pass from their chest. You got to have it over your head to throw it over the top. Just the angle that the ball gets delivered.
Duke, of their last 4 from the floor, they turn this one over. It goes right to Maddie Cox. 5th turnover of the game by Duke. Brooks knew where she wanted to go. It was to River Baldwin, but Kennedy Brown, the best shot blocker and one of the best shot blocking teams in the country.
And that's what gives Duke a 3-level defensive presence. Ball pressure, the ability to rotate is the 2nd level. The 3rd is at the rim.
Ball fake from James. Opened up the pass to Rivers, but Kennedy Brown doing a good job getting there.
Carol Lawson says Duke defense is the gateway to winning. They allow the fewest points. A lot of that has to do with tempo, but also with their great ball pressure.
And I like when you asked her if when she got to Tennessee playing for Pat Summitt, if she loved defense then, and she said, well, I really had to learn to work at it and to make it a priority. Foul on the play, and that has Wes Moore fired up. He likes it, and all those fans in red behind him cheering as well as Donovan picks up her 2nd.
Good recognition by River Baldwin to come up and relieve pressure.
Madison Hayes, Mimi Collins both on the bench as Cox and Brooks are out there for NC State. Here is Zoe Brooks. Cable has it blocked.
There's a switch. Now pull it back out and let River Baldwin post up. She's got a mismatch.
Brooks looking over to the sideline.
Now that gave Duke a chance to switch back.
Now she goes to Baldwin. Short corner, good. 6 points in the game for River Baldwin, and NC State with its largest lead of the game at 8.
Icing ball screens means try to keep it on the same side of the floor, but Reagan Richardson gets around it.
And some frustration perhaps showing itself for this Duke team that's on a scoring drought of over 2 minutes. They've missed their last 7. Kennedy Brown commits the foul and will take a timeout.
Look at all the dads and daughters that are in the building. I think it's absolutely amazing. All tournament I've seen this, and I absolutely love it. Girl dad's a real thing, and there are a lot of young girls coming back to the game, and the success of the women's game this year is an all-time high, and it's exciting. A lot of it can be attributed to Caitlin Clark and what I like to call Clarkonomics. But here in Greensboro, over 1.5 million fans have attended ACC women's basketball here in this tournament. That's absolutely amazing.
The rest of the world starting to catch on to what we've known for a while. What a great product we have in the women's game, especially here in Greensboro with this ACC tournament. Virginia Tech, the defending champs. See if they can defend their crown without their 3-time ACC Player of the Year, Liz Kitley. They'll take on Notre Dame in one of the semifinals tomorrow.
ATOs after timeouts are not only just about offense. NC State's defensive energy in that possession was as good as I've seen it in this game. You can see a lift in their body language. And Duke is 0 for their last 8.
Just 3 points in the quarter for the Blue Devils.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now, that's not good shot selection. The ball never left Zoe Brooks' hands, and she dribbled out the shot clock. And now they're at a deficit in transition.
What a look as Okananwa just kept it high and got it to Brown.
Your shot selection cannot lead to transition opportunities for the other team.
Brooks really seeing a lot of time at the point.
I'm going to, yes, I want it.
5 on the shot clock. James with her left. Jackson, Okananwa. Mayer the shot fake. Delaney Thomas has another field goal for the Blue Devils, who are coming back, down 6 now. Brooks out in front.
That's back-to-back layups. And here comes Duke. This is how quickly they can get their energy back and back in the game.
Brown. Thomas wide open inside.
Watch the trailer right here. But the reason why this space is open is because the ball is all the way down on the baseline. And the defense has to seek the level of the ball. Look at all the white jerseys that flood to the ball line. And that leaves the top of the floor open.
Thomas, a freshman, didn't play in the game yesterday for Duke against Georgia Tech. Okananwa spinning into some trouble, got rid of it just in time. 6-0 Blue Devil run. Brooks content to take her time. Attack Duke in the half court. And remember, this is the #1 defense in Duke in the ACC. James, another miss. Crossover from Jackson. Now she picks up her dribble.
Trying to force Mayer to her left hand, to her weak hand.
5 for Jackson and Duke. Thomas, open, hits it.
NC State has their hands down on all defensive possessions. You got to have high hands, and that allows you to have better ball pressure, taking the vision away.
An 8-0 Duke run makes this a 2-point game now, just over a minute to play in the second quarter. The winner moving on to the semifinals. Take on the winner of our next game between Florida State and Syracuse, and NC State just 2 of their last 12.
So they go to horns, and they're going to call a foul. Sanaya Rivers in the act of shooting right here. This is a great delivery. Look at everybody's hands down, standing around watching for NC State.
And I think it was off the ball, that foul called on Thomas. So off the inbounds. Baldwin having a hard time hanging on to it as Jackson is sliding all over the floor. Gets the jump ball called. Possession arrow, favor of Duke. 8th turnover by the Wolfpack. Both of these teams projected into the NCAA tournament field, but looking to continue on here in Greensboro.
The ACC Tournament Championship is one of the most coveted crowns in sport. And as soon as Lacey Steele comes in the game, Carol Lawson is prepared to run a play against her matchup.
Lacey Steele into the game, commits the foul for NC State. 4th team foul by the Wolfpack.
Here comes Jackson again.
2 points in the game for Ashton Jackson. Has it blocked by Baldwin.
Great help.
Rivers fends off Okananwa. Collins can't hit the three. Neither team has been able to rely on the three-point shot. Duke has yet to hit one. Blue Devils are 0 for 5. NC State 1 for 5 from three. Low-scoring game you think would favor this defensive-minded Blue Devil team.
Oh, Brooks. Good play by Brooks.
Bats it away and draws the foul on the other end.
That is a big-time hustle play by the freshman. She gets the tip and deflection right here. High hands right there. That's why you got to have your hands up, Jen. And then she's going to have to earn it at the line.
Brooks, a 74% free throw shooter. Had 6 points in the last game, a win on Sunday for the Wolfpack against Wake Forest. All 6 of those points coming from the line. She was 6 for 6, but misses her first in this game and misses them both. So a 2-point game is what we've got separating these two teams from the triangle. A lot still to be decided.
Opportunity for NC State. Off their rebounding, they push. When Sanaya Rivers rebounds, they get into the transition game faster. That's a spot-up triple in transition with a little flip pass by Sanaya Rivers, who sets up Madison Hayes. NC State's got to be better in their defensive fundamentals. High hands. Make sure you communicate, and Duke has got to be better in their execution on the offensive end.
Well, let's hear more from what Kara Lawson said at halftime with Angel.
Absolutely. Kara Lawson said she was pleased with how her team battled down the stretch, especially in the last 3 minutes of that second quarter. Went on an 8-0 run, but she said the adjustments that needed to be made were more on the defensive end. Jalen Donovan and Reagan Richardson with the 2 fouls put them in a tough position. She said at this point, we're pleased defensively with what we were able to do, holding them to 8 quarter points. So they're just trying to 8 points in that quarter. So what they want to do is continue to build on that, and that's their identity.
NC State knows, Angel, that Duke is going to hard hedge and tag from the weak side. There's a couple of times they've turned it over in that. I mean, when you know a team is going to do it, and they do it so well, you got to have some ball fakes. You got to have different options offensively.
Aziaha James called for the push on that play. Her first personal foul. Take a look at Kara Lawson.
They got Kennedy Brown established the first 2 times they played. They haven't gotten her established in this game yet. I think that's coming. Here's a screen and roll on top of the floor.
3 on the shot clock. Jackson gets another chance at it. Does get it off on time.
I mean, Duke hustles, and NC State has 5 players standing straight up.
So make that a 10-0 run now for the Blue Devils, who tie it up at 29. James, can she get hot again? Angel referenced it earlier. All of her points coming in the first quarter. Madison Hayes spent some time on the bench in the first half. Now is fouled.
Duke's going to want to travel before the foul on this one. And watch the shot clock. Look at the hustle.
Ooh.
NC State's just standing straight up. Good hustle by Duke to score.
Does she get this off in time? Doesn't look
Oh, yeah,
like
did they say they were going to review it?
I think they did. I saw them motion over as the basket went through that they were going to try to take a look at it. For now, it stands.
We'll see. They'll wait till the under 4 or under 5 timeout, okay? And sometimes you need to go to it right away, because this is going to be a possession-for-possession game.
0 for 2 from the free throw line, but an offensive rebound from River Baldwin gives it back to NC State. Wolfpack just 4 for 9 from the stripe in this game. 3 on the shot clock for Rivers. Hayes. Rivers open for 3. Jackson, who had that last basket, which stands for now, but as we looked at it, we could see those 2 points go away. We'll see what happens on that next timeout. James, short.
Everything off the dribble. Nothing off the pass right now. Here comes Duke, tilting the floor, running in hard. Great offensive habits by the Blue Devils.
6 points in the game for the freshman Jaden Donovan. And now the Blue Devils up by 2.
They go naked two-man game right here. Reject the screen, fill behind.
Little out of control and out of bounds.
This is what you love about Duke. Look how hard they run, how wide. They just flat out in a foot race are beating NC State down the court right now.
12-0 Duke run going back to the second quarter. NC State 21 points in the first quarter, just 8 in the second quarter, just a 7th single-digit quarter they have had all season.
Too much ISO ball for NC State right now. Duke is making them pay too. They are really running hard.
Mayer will be headed to the free throw line, pushing in transition. First personal foul on River Baldwin. River has more ACC tournament games played than anybody in an NC State uniform. This is her 9th. Some of those, of course, coming in her 3 years at Florida State.
This will be Mayer's first trip to the free throw line. She's 1 for 7 in the first half from the floor, 0 for 3 from three-point range.
It is not a beautiful offensive game at the moment. Both teams under 40%. But that Duke defense has a way of making things difficult for their opponents.
I mean, it's a .4 differential, but right now NC State is the best field goal percentage defense in the ACC.
James. A fight for the rebound, and it's a foul on Mimi Collins, her first. It just feels like NC State has gotten stuck. No points since the 4:27 mark in the second quarter.
Well, they're not making the game easier for their teammates. What they're doing is they're driving, looking to score. All ISO ball. Maybe you should drive and look to pass to someone who might be open for a shot, because Duke is shrinking the floor. They're not guarding the three-point line. NC State in the first half went 1 for 5 from the three-point line.
That pass fell right into the hands of James, and then she runs into Collins, and that is what it has felt like here for NC State these last few minutes. 10th turnover.
That transition right there looked like a bunch of little kids playing soccer, running down the middle of the floor, chasing the ball.
Mayer.
Good fight by Hayes, but her hands are down.
Good positioning there by Rivers to get herself the rebound.
See if NC State can get some ball reversal.
James behind the back, step back, 3. 11 points in the game for Aziaha James, her first since the first quarter, snapping that long drought we just talked about for NC State as a team. NC State ball.
Good D by River Baldwin that time. How about a little step back right here? Beautiful. Maybe that'll loosen things up and open up the floor a little bit for NC State.
The Wolfpack led by as many as 10 in this game, but Duke, since about midway through the second quarter, has had their way. 1-point lead at the moment, still stands. Look at Donovan push the ball. Richardson in the middle, they go to Brown. Baldwin had her hands on it, couldn't keep it, and Mayer puts it away. Something happening right in front of the Duke bench. Ashlyn Jackson holding a towel to her face. I'm not sure I saw what happened.
Well, they're taking her straight back to the locker room. I did not see it.
I think it was something that happened on the other side of the court. We may have a look at it here.
I think they're going to have to take a look at it because of the extent of the injury.
Right there, maybe with she and Donovan both going for the rebound. Or the hand from James.
Unobserved play is under review.
Well, that play is under review. We'll fill you in on the result when we come back after this quick break. The play that sent Ashlyn Jackson off. We think we found it. Watch the middle of your screen. Watch Aziaha James there, number 10 for NC State. Catches Jackson right there in the face. Debbie, is this a foul?
Well, to me, it's a swim move, which is trying to get open on a cut. So as the ball moves, she's cutting through the lane. There's no whistle on the play, so the officials are looking at it to potentially upgrade it. They can make it a contact technical foul. But I don't think so, because she played on. The play continued, and then she realized that she had some blood. So I think that's a basketball move. It's a part of the freedom of movement, you know, like that's an emphasis in the game. She was trying to cut to the other side, and that's what she's saying. I'm swimming over the top to get through the lane to cut to the other side of the basket.
Take another look right
I mean,
there.
she catches her, certainly catches her in the nose, but I don't, it's not intentional. It's a basketball move. It's called the swim move to get open. Post players use it, and perimeter players use it.
Kalani Spurlock, Ed Sidlasky, Meadow Overstreet still conferring. Looks like they may have come to a decision. That initial signal from Meadow seems like they are not going to issue the intentional foul. Now, during that break,
play was deemed incidental, so we do not have a foul on that. And then the shot clock play by Duke number 3 at 9-11 was disallowed as a shot clock violation.
I would think Kalani Spurlock are filling us in on both of those things.
That's what we thought. I mean, there was nothing to upgrade it to. It's a basketball move. Good job by the officials.
So you're going to see 2 points come off for Duke. And if you remember when we looked at it, we could look at it right away. They had to wait until the stoppage, our officials, to look at it. So now it is a 1-point lead for the Blue Devils. And we're pretty close to another media timeout here, under 5. Both teams trying to reset now. Jackson back receiving treatment after that contact to the face. No foul, though, deemed in the eyes of our officials. Collins for 3, fouled on the 3-point attempt. That is the second time in this game that Duke has fouled an NC State player in the act of shooting a 3.
Really a non-3-point threat. This is a great step-up screen and a pop by Collins to the perimeter. This is a huge mistake right there by Duke's defense. They force a tough shot.
NC State and Duke battling it out. Duke's on a 14-3 run, and they have a 1-point lead.
Oh, and look at that, 10 for 16 to start the game, and NC State 3 for 21 since.
ladies, we've seen that this has been a battle. We saw Ashlyn Jackson run off the court with a towel over her face. She was being tended to in the back. I could read the lips of the trainer saying, it's bad, there's blood everywhere. She comes back, runs on the floor, says, I'm available. I talked to the trainer. She said, oh, that's my girl. She's tough as cookies. She wants to be tough as nails, rather. She wants to be on the floor, and you can see her now on the floor.
Yeah, wearing number 50, Angel. Thank you for the heads up. Great to see Jackson back out on the floor for Duke. Tough as nails, one tough cookie. We know we were going with that. 5 points in the game for Kennedy Brown.
Good foot fight on the block by James, not to let Donovan post her up.
And Jackson can't hit with the shot clock going down. Duke 2 for 8 this quarter. NC State 1 for 9. Nobody's finding much offense.
Both teams need to just tighten up a little bit. There's way too much slippage in this game on the offensive end.
James to the basket and in.
She is so crafty. She doesn't need a lot of space. She can get through any seam defensively.
13 points for James. She is the leading scorer on the season for the Wolfpack.
NC State switches their guards on the perimeter.
Donovan looked like she was in trouble, but was smart to find the basketball to Brown.
See, NC State overhelps. Brooks had the defender, and the overhelp results in a foul. And there's James slicing through to the hoop. Keeps her eyes on the target the whole time.
You've been talking, Debbie, about Duke wanting to get Kennedy Brown established on the inside. She had 14 points in Duke's win against Georgia Tech yesterday. 12 of those coming in the second half. She now has 6 in the game.
Well, in the game in Raleigh, they went almost as like scripted. They went to her several times in a row. 3 times to start the game to get her going, and she did get going.
Yeah, she had 15 points in that game with 6 of 8 from the floor in a losing effort as NC State won at home. Duke would go on to win on their home floor. Oh, Brooks somehow, some way scores it. Brown, Donovan, Okananwa, tough shot, but she's fouled.
A really good ball movement by the Blue Devils. Zoe Brooks gets a step, a little crossover. We see you with a little scoop shot, Zoe.
And Zoe can see. I talked to her earlier this season. You may remember she wore goggles for the first 13 games of the season. Hadn't really worn those before, didn't really like them, and then started wearing contacts. Remember, she used to pull those goggles down, they'd get all fogged up.
Remember, at the end of the half, she missed 2 free throws, and her body language walking off the court wasn't good. I saw Wes Moore go over to her, tap her, and say, come on, let's go, Zoe, we're going to need you. And look at the way that one basket has lifted her body language. Now she looks like she's a much more confident player.
NC State, 1-point lead. And Duke takes it away. Donovan, Okananwa. Broken up for the moment. Jackson wearing that number 50 jersey after she had to go off and change. Had some blood on her number 3 jersey. Rivers. James behind the back, step back, the foot on the line.
No offensive rebounders.
Camilla Emsbo on for Duke. Mayer got around Rivers. Okananwa making something happen, driving to the basket. Second personal on Mimi Collins.
See, now Duke is moving the ball. They're going side to side. The ball's getting below the free throw line. They're forcing NC State into rotation. And they're being aggressive and attacking in the paint. Neither one of these teams I would call great three-point shooting teams. The game's going to be determined in the paint.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest differentiating factors in the 2 games during the regular season. The team that won the paint won the game. They're even right now, each with 20 paint points.
How about the confidence surge that we've seen from Oluchi Okananwa throughout this season? She had a dip midway through ACC play. She had a conversation with Kara Lawson. Kara looked at her and said, I don't care if you don't score another point. What you add off the bench and give us as far as energy for our team, we need it. Over the last 3 games, she's been able to score 9 or more points. She sets the tone for them. First one down the floor. She just does so many things well.
Now, Angel, she had 15 points, so she added some scoring too. 8 of those coming in the 4th quarter in the win against Georgia Tech. She's got 8 in this game, half of them coming from the free throw line.
And NC State has 4 turnovers, all in the live ball situation, meaning they're turning it over and allowing Duke to have numbers transitioning the other way. They don't even get a chance to set their defense.
And Tabo at the free throw line after James picked up her 2nd foul, and Duke now in the bonus.
6'5" graduate student from Yale. Duke degree to go along with a Yale degree, not bad.
Emsbo averaging about 15.5 minutes, mostly off the bench for the Blue Devils this season. Baldwin, 6 points in the game. She averages 10.5 and throws this one away. And you think about what Wes Moore said to Angel at halftime. He said, we're out of control, we're forcing things, we're shooting with no rebounders. I mean, this is not the way he likes to see his team execute on offense.
The last couple of plays, I'm not giving Duke's defense credit for the turnovers NC State has had. Those are turnovers where they're making bad decisions with the ball.
Yeah, that's fair. Duke's defense earns plenty, but those are what you call an unforced error in tennis. Short corner, Emsbo. Okananwa cartwheels out of bounds. And NC State will take it.
That's where she is relentless, because she's going every time. And she might as well, because she also picks up the basketball in the backcourt. So if you're going to provide that role for Kara Lawson, you don't need to score a point to Angel's her report.
NC State just 9 points in the quarter. Now they get to double digits with that 2 from Brooks. Tied up at 40. Under a minute to play in the 3rd quarter. A spot in the semifinals on the line for these 2 North Carolina rivals.
A 2-for-1 opportunity for Duke. They're going to get the ball back if they can score quickly.
Jackson to Emsbo, around and in. NC State really came out flying in this game, but have been slowed down, some by their own mistakes, some by that Duke defense since. Chance to tie or take the lead before the 3rd quarter expires.
Step-up screen by River Baldwin.
Hayes for 3 and the lead for NC State. Okananwa will launch from mid-court, but the Wolfpack will take a 1-point lead into the final quarter.
A really good piece of execution. Scoring guards, not just in the ACC, but in the nation. And Deasia Fair, everybody knows about Tanaya Latson. She led the league in scoring last year. If you haven't seen Deasia Fair play, she's 5th all-time in career scoring in the history of the game. She's on a list with Caitlin Clark right now. That's worth tuning in to watch.
Over 3,000 points for Deasia Fair. She can light it up. Brooks. Good start for the Wolfpack in quarter 4.
I know Wes Moore is thrilled about what he just saw from his team after that timeout. He said, listen, we got to dig deep. We have to make them make jump shots. They are 0 for 7 from the field. Make them put it on the floor if you want. But at the end of the day, we have to make sure that we're containing the paint. That's back-to-back stops on the defensive end for NC State.
Yeah, Mare has not made a pull-up jump shot except for the one we showed you at halftime. She's made a layup. She's 2 for 9, so NC State needs to do a better job of dictating the shots that Duke takes.
Yeah, Duke picked up 9 of their points in the third quarter, 9 of their 15 from the free throw line. Hayes did beat the shot clock, but too strong on the shot. Richardson off the front of the rim. Okananwa.
Who else?
Both of these programs know what it is to win an ACC tournament title. They're looking to take that next step. NC State's won 7. Duke has won 8, and that is a big 3 from Richardson.
But none of these kids have won one on either side.
Baldwin gets the roll. Brown probably could have taken that one herself. Okananwa, and Brooks just awkwardly slow to get up. Well, with a tie score once again here in Greensboro, we'll take a quick break in the 4th. Ally ACC Women's Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Ally. Whatever you're saving for, we're all better off with an Ally.
Well, for Duke, it's Okananwa. She comes off the bench and does what she does on the glass. And then for NC State, it's Aziaha James. And let me correct myself, James has won a championship here in Greensboro in 2022. She was a freshman, and Madison Hayes was also on that team.
Now, to your point, though, for most of these players on both teams, this is a new journey here in Greensboro. Programs may have won, but they're taking these steps now, trying to get to the semifinals. 11 to shoot, and James doesn't need any more than that. She's got 15.
No help. Duke defense forces her to make a tough shot. NC State will guard inside the three-point line.
Mayer going against Baldwin, who did affect that shot. Mayer somehow runs back with the basketball. 6 to shoot. Brown traveled.
I mean, NC State is really pounding the air right here, and they are pounding the ball I mean, really pounding it right here. This is just dribble, no help, one-on-one basketball.
Brooks was fouled on the floor, went quickly down the other way, and Jackson picks up the foul.
Now, when a team plays up the line like Duke does, sometimes you do have to put it on the floor, but when you get to the paint, there are options and other people that could be open. Duke's just staying home. They're not helping on any penetration to the middle of the floor.
Brooks looked up, nobody was guarding her. She'll take the 2. 10 points in the game for the all-freshman team selection for the Wolfpack. Brown turns into trouble, but doesn't give up on the play and draws the foul. Boos raining down from those in red here at the Greensboro Coliseum as Baldwin picks up her second foul.
And there is a lot of red in the building.
Brown couple of misses from the line so far tonight. She's 3 for 5, now 4 for 6. Inches Duke 1 point closer.
Duke's got to really dig in right here and guard the ball.
Had 8 lead changes in this game. NC State trying to hang on here. Hayes. Looked like she had that finish right where she wanted it. Mayer has it batted away by James.
It's a foot race.
James went back to her left, and somehow Jackson got back and thwarted the progress of Aziaha James.
Watch James. She crosses back over to the middle.
Went right where the defense was.
I see Jackson straight up.
Mayer batted it away for a moment, but NC State still in possession. 20 seconds to work with. Rivers. That is going to be a blocking foul on Kennedy Brown. Looked like she was trying to get herself set up for the charge.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do, is you know they're going to hedge those ball screens. You go at that outside hip. That's what you attack.
And that is the 3rd foul on Brown. Both she and Richardson have 3 for Duke.
I would go right back to River Baldwin in a screening action and try to get another foul on Brown. Right there. Try to pick another one up. There's a good find.
Brooks open for 3. Can't knock it down. Baldwin. Big rebound. Quick jump ball whistle. It will stay with NC State on the jump ball. 19 seconds on the shot clock.
Toughen up right here. Keep your focus, both teams. You got to really tighten it up.
Hayes fouled on the rebound. That's Donovan. That's her 3rd. Debbie, in a game this tight, what is going to make the difference for these two teams down the stretch?
Toughness. I mean, being tough with the ball, right? Now for NC State, Duke is going to ramp it up a little bit. You better be ready to go back door. And then NC State has executed very well on their baseline out of bounds plays tonight. There's another one right there, getting another foul on the Duke defense. That's a great basket cut by James.
4 fouls on Richardson, 4 team fouls on Duke in the quarter.
It's misdirection on the strong side, right? Sanaya Rivers coming off that double screen, and then it's James with a quick step and a great bounce pass.
So obviously that was a shooting foul. James would have 2 anyway, but the next Duke foul is going to put NC State on the line for the rest of the game. Team that shoots 75%, Debbie. One of 2 for James. Still a 1-possession game, 3-point NC State league. Okananwa has it taken away by Brooks. The 2 all-freshman team selections going at it.
So Okananwa dribbles right into the middle of the floor into all that traffic. Every game in this tournament, except for one, has come down to the last couple of possessions. It's been amazing how tightly competitive, but we are not surprised because it's been like this all year in the ACC.
Remember early on, multiple coaches saying whoever wins this year is going to have 3 or 4 losses. Virginia Tech did have 4 losses. That is the most ever by an ACC regular season champion.
6 on the shot clock.
Brooks, as the shot clock fades away, Hayes kept it alive, kept it for NC State.
See, that's hustle. While everyone else is standing, Madison Hayes is going to the glass. She creates this opportunity for NC State to have an extra possession.
Debbie, we talked about Sanaya Rivers making them go. Aziaha James is the show. Madison Hayes is the glue. Makes plays like that for this NC State team. They got a good look out of the out of bounds for Baldwin.
Good post up inside.
Brown, long 2. And Baldwin grabs the rebound.
NC State needs to make sure they stay aggressive here. Sometimes they get to this point right here and they hold the ball on the top of the floor. You got to get the ball below the free throw line against Duke's defense.
Rivers, open. No, Hayes again fighting for the rebound, but so too is Donovan. She comes away with it for Duke.
But they get ball reversal and they get a wide open shot.
Brown.
I've run the same play. Go right back to Rivers on that. She'll make the next jump shot.
Both teams struggling here. NC State 0 for the last 7, Duke 0 for the last 4. Baldwin kept that pivot foot down and is fouled.
Oh,
It's going to be 4 on Brown.
She can't believe she didn't drag her pivot foot there.
See Brown shaking her head. She has foul number 4 on this play. Ooh, did it drag?
I think so.
That angle made it look like it, didn't it? I thought she held it from where we were sitting, but nonetheless, she's at the free throw line, River Baldwin, an 84% free throw shooter. Very good from the line, typically. NC State below 50% from the free throw line in this game. And an empty attempt there in the 2 shots for Baldwin. Sometimes you have to survive games like this where shots aren't falling. That's the postseason. Duke made it to the semifinals of this tournament last year, lost to Virginia Tech.
You go under ball screen action right now with the Blue Devils. They are 1 for 10 from the 3-point line.
Rivers, so Baldwin looked to be open. Good hands by that Duke defense.
If you ball fake the tag on the roll, you'll have a wide open shooter on the other side of the floor.
Brooks, single digits on the shot clock. Okananwa defending. Brooks got her to lean. And Hayes once again picking up the rebound. Can you be composed and take your time but not lose your edge with the lead? That's the challenge for NC State. Mayer didn't want the 3, wants the drive, has it blocked. NC State could run.
Good decision, no numbers there.
Sanaya Rivers, the ACC 6th player of the year last year, all ACC first team this year along with James. Trying to see this one out for the Wolfpack, second seeded team in this tournament. Off the fingertips of Baldwin.
They have tried multiple times to hit the roller and they have not connected all game. It's not a surprise what Duke is going to do. It's a hard hedge attack from the weak side. Sometimes it's attack from the strong side, but Emsbo gets back and the pass is just not there. They can't connect.
14 turnovers by the Wolfpack, but just 2 points off of them for the Blue Devils. Duke down 3. Jackson lost the handle, but found Donovan.
NC State really doing a much better job on the glass. Duke had 10 offensive rebounds, and they scored 14 points on those. That's the difference in the game.
This may be just who can make a basket to win. At the moment, it is NC State with a 3-point lead. We'll take a quick timeout, just over a minute to play. ESPN. College game day is going to be here. But right now we need to figure out what this final minute and change looks like for these two teams. Mayer and that Duke defense win the ball for the Blue Devils.
Now they're inside 2 minutes. They can review this. I mean, just too casual on the inbound pass. I mean, it looks like it could have gone off of Mayer's foot last, but the NC State just not good execution there.
Called out of bounds is under review. Call on the court is Duke ball.
Now that's significant.
It hits Mayer's leg. Then did it hit Brooks's foot? From that angle, it's hard to tell. Let's see from this angle. Oh, that looks like that might have hit Mayer's foot last, but the officials will take a good look at it.
And remember, they have to have video evidence to overturn what they saw, which was a Duke call on the floor. They said it's Duke possession.
It looks like it's off Duke to me.
It does. There's no doubt it hits Mayer.
But look at the angle that Zoe Brooks is taking to make the inbound pass, and to catch the inbound pass. You gotta cut to the ball.
Yeah, that looks like it's off Mayer's leg last, which means the call would be reversed and the ball given back to the Pack.
Great job by our crew on the camera work there. They're also looking at the clock while they're over there. Make sure the time is right.
Keep an eye on the clock there when the ball goes out of bounds. As Debbie said, no doubt that is what they're checking as well.
Right, so it looks like the ball's still in bounds, then it's out. They might put 1 second back. 1 second on the shot clock certainly would help NC State.
Well, we will await their decision, see who gets the basketball. Both teams can scheme for either scenario.
In the meantime, you got to cut hard. You got to be sharp with the basketball. You can't have game slippage right here. You're trying to advance to the semifinals of the ACC tournament. You got to be able to be strong with the ball.
Now this Duke defense is going to force you to make sure you're cutting hard to the ball.
TV Sports will load 4 replays into the replay monitor, and then there's other angles that they can look at that the standby official has access to.
Well, it has been a battle between these two, not always pretty. NC State does have the lead. And we wait.
Gives both coaches a free timeout. Both coaches with 3 timeouts remaining. NC State has only 1 team foul. Duke's already put NC State in the bonus.
Call on the court has been overturned. It is NC State ball. Clock remains.
Well, that's what we thought too, looking at the replays.
I thought they might put a second back.
It stays at 108, 13 seconds on the shot clock, and NC State will now inbound it a little further down the floor. Brooks going right to the basket. She had no doubt where she wanted to go.
Carol Lawson wants a timeout to advance the ball. Great take by Brooks. Good clock awareness.
Zoe Brooks with 10 of her 12 points coming in the second half, 6 of them in this fourth quarter.
Watch this little rub off the top by River Baldwin. She tries to set a screen, but Zoe Brooks doesn't quite take her defender below the level of the step up. But she still gets all the way to the paint.
There have not been a lot of field goals to be had in this fourth quarter, but Zoe Brooks with a big one there, making this two-possession game, 5-point lead for the Wolfpack. Both teams, timeouts remaining. Duke has 2, 3 for NC State, but 3 fouls to give as well for the Wolfpack should they need it. What's Duke need here, Debbie?
No, they need something going to the basket. They don't need a 3. They haven't shot the 3 well.
They'll take the 3.
I don't like that at all for Duke.
The Blue Devils 1 for 11 from 3, to your point.
You know, you could have extended the game by attacking. It's a decision that I'm sure it was one of the options, but I can tell by Coach Lawson's reaction that wasn't the best option.
Jackson committing the foul, so NC State will be at the free throw line. The Wolfpack just 7 of 16 from the line in this game.
Well, Mayer, 2 for 14 from the floor. She's taken the most shots, probably by design by the Wolfpack defense. But she's 0 for 5 from the three-point line.
Rivers for the second, no. Timeout, Duke. Let's see if they get a different result this time around.
30-second timeout.
You think still the plan, Debbie, go to the basket? Or
no, I'm going to the basket. What Duke lost in that exchange is 10 seconds. That's it. They still have an opportunity here. I mean, with a timeout to advance the ball this time, you're going to put the ball probably in Jackson's hands or probably Reagan Richardson and let them make a decision with it.
There is only one Duke player in double figures. That is Oluchi Okananwa. She also has 10 rebounds, so it's her third double-double of the season.
Duke's going to get a running downhill attack of the basket right here. This looks like something from the Boston Celtics playbook, to be honest with you.
Carol Lawson with some experience there. Okananwa to the basket.
Absolutely. I love the play.
Work to perfection.
NC State's got to take care of it right here. There's a foul. Now, that's a play on the ball. A hard foul, but it's a play on the ball. This is right out of the old Celtics book. I've seen this play before. I knew it. Look at that downhill. I love this set by Carol Lawson. She totally took the decision-making out of her team. She said, we're going to inbound it to Kennedy Brown, and we're going to scissor cut off that, and we're going to get a layup.
Carol Lawson, assistant coach with the Celtics 1920 season. First female coach in Celtics history. And the struggles continue from the free throw line for NC State. This would be their worst free throw percentage of the season if this continues. And it does.
Duke they can't call timeout and advance it because they passed it.
Timeout, Duke. This will be a 60-second timeout.
Timeout called.
Well, NC State is going to look at 7 for 20 from the free throw line. That's right, 7 for 20.
That almost doesn't seem possible. I mean, this is a team that on the season makes 75% of their free throws, 78% in conference play. What on earth has happened?
You've opened the door for Duke because you haven't been able to separate. Your turnovers have allowed Duke to stay around. Duke's offensive rebounding has kept them in the game. If I'm Carol Lawson, I consider running the same set. The speed of Duke is tough, and NC State has played man all game. The other thing is with fouls to give, might NC State consider committing a couple of fouls right here? You certainly don't want to give up a 3.
Yeah, Duke.
But you have to practice it to know if you can do it or not. Both teams, look at that shooting percentage.
Yeah.
And look at the free throws.
My goodness. Well, Duke, if they opt to go for three,
they're not going to opt for three here.
They're 6 for 29 from three in the tournament, 1 for 11 in this game. But that is the deficit, and no timeouts remaining for the Blue Devils.
You got to keep them in front. You can't, and if they're going to commit a foul, it better be on the way down on the dribble, not on the way up. This is taking too long.
Brown does take the three, misses everything.
That can't be the play.
Kennedy Brown is a 25% three-point shooter on the season. She's 6 for 24.
I mean, I don't understand why Coach Lawson didn't just go back to the same set. I know you think that scouting would matter, but Kennedy Brown, she's a career 25% three-point shooter. Yeah, Coach Lawson, I'm with you. What was that?
And Kennedy Brown, senior for this Duke team, hoping to extend their stay in Greensboro. Both of these teams projected into the NCAA tournament. Duke is a 6 seed currently. NC State is a 3 seed, according to our Charlie Crean. But what about this tournament? What about who moves on to the semifinals? NC State trying to secure that spot.
You're fouling right away here, and you're putting them to the line because you know they're not going to make they haven't made free throws.
Take some time off the clock.
No, there was a foul before that. You got to be kidding me. You know they're going to foul.
A jump ball is called. The possession arrow goes to Duke.
There's fouling committed before this. Right there's one. Right there. That's a second. Now you get the jump ball.
Now no timeouts. So Duke has to go the length of the floor. Down 3. They are 1 for 12 from 3 in the game. Short on the three-point attempt. Okananwa and time.